boys and girls. Once upon a Brazilian. Wamai, I'm sorry, man, for being late. I can tell that you were here and you left a comment. Once upon a Brazilian's can't grapple fast. I might be having flu, guys. Wamai is just being insane. I don't know what's happening with him. Once upon a Brazilian can't grapple fast. What kind of a comment is that? Anyway, um, Renier the Rizzler said hi. Welcome, man. Wamai just left a crazy message on this particular stream, which is insane. Um, to the rich, once upon a flu fest. Guys, whoever's watching this after, I'm sorry, like, let me get to the rich said hi. Let me get to the breakdown. Wow. Once upon a flu fest is crazy. Um, Marc Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. I actually thought Bruno Silva had been cut from the UFC, but in all honesty, I feel like it's gonna sound harsh, but it feels like bum versus bum. Both of them are pretty decent fighters, but they haven't been performing except that well in their most recent fight. Both I think are on a 3-fight losing streak. Oh no, Bruno Silva is on a 4-fight losing streak, and Marc Andre Barriault is on like a 3-fight losing streak or something like that. So both of them pretty trash, to be honest. I think Marc Andre Barriault is bum versus bum. Is it actually a rematch? I didn't actually check whether they had fought yet. Who won the fight between the both of them initially? Because in all honesty, I genuinely feel like it could go either way. On the feet, both of them are pretty trash as far as defense. Offensively, I would advantage maybe to Marc-Andre Barriault. But I think, what do you call him? Bruno Silva is going to have the reach advantage. So maybe that might work in his favor. On the ground, I genuinely feel like maybe Bruno Silva might be a little bit better, even though a lot of people are like, nah, Marc-Andre Barriault is going to be better. I honestly don't think so. And it's crazy to me that I'm actually picking Bruno Silva because um, Brazilians and takedown defense is a problem. Tuzirich, no, LOL. I'm saying this is like a Brandage versus Marquez rematch. I think Bruno KO. I mean, it's possible, but looking at how terrible both of them are defensively, I mean, it is possible. I honestly am leaning towards a decision, not a finish. I still feel like Bruno Silva is going to win. I'm actually surprised my subscribers also picked Bruno Silva to actually win. But in all honesty, I think he's all around the less bunny of the two, for lack of a better word. I'm never going to get interviews on this channel. I should just forget. But I mean, MMA Guru is getting interviews, so anyway. So for me personally, I think it comes down to who is less bummy, and I think it's Bruno Silva. I think Bruno Silva, bum fest. It's a bum fest for real. So of the two, I genuinely feel like Bruno Silva is a little bit less bunny, to be honest. People criticize him for his performance against, what do you call him? Chris Eidman, who was busy trying to gouge his eyes out in that particular fight. And I think he was performing pretty decently, especially considering I feel like Chris Weidman was potentially, this is not an allegation, but it just looks a bit different. Like if you look at a couple of fights before that and his last two fights in the UFC, especially that Bruno Silva fight, he looked a little bit different, suspiciously different. So for me personally, I generally feel like Bruno Silva, and irrespective of how we might feel about Chris Weidman, he's a former champion. Maybe he's not what he used to be, but having that kind of a performance, I mean, it's pretty commendable, despite the fact that you were finished by a double eye poke. Um, I don't feel like Marc Andre has fought anyone particularly great, to be honest. Power bump versus brother bumps. I mean, this is probably one of the hardest picks to make because both of them are not particularly good, man. Um, I can see Marc Andre winning on the feet. Both of them are terrible defensively. I mean, it just comes down to who's going to land a big shot or more. And in all honesty, I hate to admit it, but I feel like on the feet, Marc Andre Barriault might, I'm not saying he has, but might have some type of a leverage because I think because of his volume, both of them are terrible defensively. So because of volume, maybe Marc-Andre Barriault might be able to land something. But I think, actually, I don't think anyone has a reach advantage in this particular fight. So on the feet, both are terrible defensively, offensively. I think both of them are basically equal as far as technical striking. But I would give a small advantage to Marc-Andre Barriault because of the volume. As far as grappling, I generally feel like Bruno Silva, that's where Bruno Silva might actually succeed because he has pretty decent takedown defense. And when you look at Marc-Andre Barriault, he has terrible, okay, not horrible, but he doesn't have the best takedown defense. So I think that's that's somewhere that Bruno Silva might be able to, I don't know, exploit. I don't know where people get this idea that Marc-Andre Barriault is Habib for some reason on the ground. I've been hearing a couple of people say, yeah, Marc-Andre Barriault is going to dominate the grappling exchanges. And I'm like, in what world, dude? So yeah, I mean Bruno Silva. Even if we criticize his losses, when you look at some of his losses, like he's been fighting people like Alex Pereira. I should have actually checked his record, to be honest, because I feel like we are criticizing too much. Of course, both of them have been on a losing streak, which is not good. But some of the people that Bruno Silva has lost to are pretty decent. Like I was saying, Chris Weidman is a former champion, right? He's not what he used to be. I understand that, and I'm not going to even dispute that. But but I'm actually what do you call it? I'm actually on Bruno Silva. Ground game, Bruno Silva. Stand up, potentially Marc-Andre Barriault. Both of them are trash. Flip a coin. Where's coin flip McGee? Where's coin flip McGee? He should have been flipping a coin here and telling us if it's heads or tails, and then I would be able to make a better decision. Anyway, on a serious note, I'm going with Bruno Silva. I think of the two, he's faced better competition, and I think he's a little bit less bummy than Marc-Andre Barriault. But like I said, both are terrible. Both are on a losing streak. So, I mean, it's anyone's guess who wins this fight. But I'm going with Bruno Silva. My subscribers are going with Bruno Silva. Let me reply to you guys before I go to the next stream. Twizy Rich, Prime Bruno Silva, people forget, man. People forget, man. Twizy Rich, MAB has Marc-Andre Barriault that has more volume, but he has the same strikes absorbed. I think that's what will cost him. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but my thing is both of them are terrible defensively, right? I honestly agree, but it's not like Bruno Silva is better defensively, so I can't defend, what do you call him, Bruno Silva in this particular situation. Dr. Cock Punch, what? I'm slapping my she right well, what's happening with my channel, guys? Like, where are these people coming from? Mad fatty. What? I'm, I'm about to burst. And Rene the Rizzler, why are you joining him in all this madness? This channel, the things that happen here. The Dr. Cook Punch, I'm a fucking bro. Bro's the golden goon. Keep talking. You finna make me very fast. What the hell is happening here? What the fuck? The Grandmaster better ride here. What? Wow. Twizy Ridge. One day it's Magomed Uncle I have. The next is Dr. Cockburn. Joy Chanel. LeBron James hairline. What? What? The clarity is hitting. What the? You guys are insane. It's like I don't know what's happening here. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next stream, guys. The things that are starting to happen on these streams are crazy. Anyway, I'm going to the next stream right now, which is what do you call him? Oh, Daniel Santos versus Jing Yong Lee. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So join me there.